unsolved mysteries, unsolved crimes, etc., etc. So if any of this may not be appealing to you or may trigger you, please click away now. Thank you. So today I am going to be doing a woman serial killer. I've done 2 videos before and they've both been male and also related to American Horror Story. Well, for the first time, this one is not going to be related to American Horror Story or a male. So, I am going to do Aileen Wuornos. I believe that's how I heard you pronounce it. Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos. Wuornos. Who was Aileen Wuornos? Serial killer Aileen Wuornos was sexually abused and thrown out of her home as a teen. Having been involved in previous incidents with the law, she made a living as a sex worker on Florida's highways, and in 1989, she killed a man who had picked her up. She went on to kill at least 5 other men and was eventually caught, convicted, and placed on death row. Though her sanity was questioned, Wuornos was executed by lethal injection in 2002. In addition to documentaries, books, and an opera, her story was depicted in the 2003 film Monster. I have never seen that movie. Early years. Wuornos was born on February 29th, 1956. February 29th. Leap year baby, that's concerning. In Rochester, Michigan, growing up in the nearby Troy area to the south. The young Wuornos experienced horrifying tumult during her childhood. Her father killed himself while serving prison time for child molestation, while her mother abandoned Wuornos and her older brother Keith, leaving them to be raised by their grandparents. Wow. Yet, Wuornos' grandmother was alleged to be an alcoholic and her grandfather a terrifying, violent force. Wuornos later stated that she was sexually abused by her grandfather and had sexual relations with her brother. She became pregnant by her early teens and the infant boy was given up for adoption. During her adolescence, Wuornos was also forced out of her home and lived in the woods. Vagabond existence. Having previously been a ward of the state, Wuornos subsisted on a vagabond existence as an adult. I don't know what that is. Hitchhiking and engaging in sex work to survive. She was arrested during the mid-1970s for charges related to assault and disorderly conduct and eventually settled in Florida, where she met wealthy yachtsman Louis Fell. The two were married in 1976, but Fell annulled the union shortly thereafter, upon Wuornos being arrested in another altercation. A decade later, having been involved in numerous additional crimes, Wuornos met 24-year-old Tyria Moore in Daytona, Florida, and the two embarked on a romantic relationship series of murders. It would later be revealed that from late 1989 into the fall of 1990, Wuornos had murdered at least 6 men along Florida highways. In mid-December 1989, the body of Richard Mallory was found in a junkyard, with 5 more men's bodies to be discovered over subsequent months. Wow, so I wonder how long they were dead for before getting found, caught. Authorities were eventually able to track down Wuornos, who had used various and more from fingerprints and palm prints left in the crashed vehicle of another missing man, Peter Sims. Wuornos was arrested in a bar in Port Orange, Florida, while police tracked down Moore in Pennsylvania. To avoid prosecution, Moore made a deal, and in mid-January 1991, she elicited a phone confession from Wuornos, who took full and sole responsibility for the murders. Trial and execution. A media frenzy ensued over the case due in part to the lurid nature of the crimes. During the trial, Wuornos asserted that she had been raped and assaulted by Mallory and had killed in self-defense. Though not revealed in court, Mallory had previously served a decade-long prison sentence for sexual assault. She stated that her killing of the 5 other men had been in self-defense as well, though she would later retract these statements. On January 27, 1992, a jury found Wuornos guilty of first-degree murder for the Mallory case, and she received the death penalty. Over the ensuing months, Wuornos pleaded guilty to the murders of the 5 other men, whose murders she was charged with, and received a death sentence for each plea. Outside of court, she later admitted to the killing of Sims, whose body was never recovered. Wow. So she could have got away with that one, basically. Spending a decade on death row, Wuornos eventually opted to fire her appeals lawyers, who are working for a stay of execution. But a court-appointed attorney was concerned about comments made by Wuornos that suggested she was profoundly disconnected from reality. In 2002, Florida Governor Jeb Bush lifted a temporary stay of execution after 3 psychiatrists deemed her mentally competent to understand the death penalty and the reasons for its implementation. Wuornos was executed by lethal injection on the morning of October 9th, 2002. Her reported last words were, "I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the rock, and I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus, June 6th, like the movie Big Mothership and all. I'll be back." Well, dang. Sounds like Terminator. I'll be back. Wuornos' remains were cremated and scattered by a tree in her hometown. Movies. Wuornos' story has been closely profiled in film. British documentarian Nick Broomfield created 2 works, Aileen Wuornos, The Selling of a Serial Killer, and Aileen, Life and Death of a Serial Killer, with the latter co-directed by Joanne Churchill. Actress Charlize Theron, often known for a glamorous screen persona, underwent a major physical and emotional transformation to portray Wuornos in 2003's Monster, written and directed by Patty Jenkins and co-starring Christina Ricci as Selby Wall, a character inspired by Tyria Moore. In a riveting performance that was grueling to watch and hailed by critic Roger Ebert as a cinematic milestone, Theron, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing these names right, probably not, Theron won an Oscar for Best Actress in a film that garnered some controversy over the accuracy and scope of its details. Wuornos' life continues to hold a fascination for the creative industry, with actress Lily Rabe portraying Wuornos in the 2015 fall season of American Horror Story. Wait, so Aileen Wuornos was referenced in American Horror Story as well. She was based on American Horror Story Hotel. It says, in Wednesday's American Horror Story Hotel, the first of the series' traditional 2-part Halloween episode, spoiler alert, we got a VIP invite to the annual Devil's Night soiree. Okay. We saw March with Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Richard Ramirez, and the Zodiac Killer all sit down to dinner with Detective John Lowe, but the real guest of honor and the scariest part of the episode was Lily Rabe's Aileen Wuornos. Why don't I remember this? Yeah, I remember. It didn't click. Wow. You learn something new every day. Well, correction to my intro. This is not the first video I do not related to American Horror Story, but it's the first true crime that is a woman about a woman. A lady, a female, whatever. I honestly did not know that. That was complete accident. I need to do my homework more. I need to do my homework better before I do this. Yeah, it says Hotel Aileen Wuornos. Like, I looked up like the 21 stories behind American Horror Story characters. I love Lily Rabe. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but... And you know what's funny? I did not know that they referenced Richard Ramirez. Like, I guess because in 1984, obviously it's a different character, so I guess it just never